Good day and welcome to another edition of Outside Genie, where we'll be looking at the racing today from the Vaal on the classic track, the 6th of April 2021. We do have 8 races on the card, and the first race off at 12:55. So let's have a look at the first race, which is a work riders maiden plate over 1450. Let's have a look at the betting. Here the betting is number 1, Chariot Master 9 to 20, 11 to 2 Pinnet, 11 to 2 Sudden Break, 13 to 2 Omelo, Grace from above, 12 to 1 Scratch, 2, 3, and 8. Now, after the scratching, there's only a few runners left, and I think that the favorite, number 1, Chariot Master, will beat the good Sean Terry and this jockey Ginwecha, have a very good record in these type of races, and I'm sure number 1, Chariot Master, if you can see, is some well-known horses, 4 lengths behind Archie, and there's not a horse in this field nearby the quality of Larchie. I think this horse will be hard to beat. For the outsider selection in the small field, I went for number 4, Grace from above, Paul Peter, and this jockey also seems that he can ride a little bit, has ridden a few winners. This horse was placed over 14-15 before, ran a third behind Eagle Valley, but this is definitely not a strong field, can probably run into the placings. Then we also have Pomelo here, Samus here, but really that form is really bad on his first race. Will have to improve a bit. Then another horse, number 7, Sudden Break, has run a nice second in his second last race behind Lucy in the Sky, and in this small field can probably have also a say. And number 8, Pin Up, also the form is not very good, but again, not a strong field, probably can also be involved in the finish, but I expect number 1 to win quite easily. Then we go to race number 2 and 3, which are maiden juveniles, so there's no selections on that, but I'll do the betting for you, and then we'll kick off race 4. And race 2, the betting is as follows: Infant's Boy 19 to 20, Miss Magician 11 to 2, Blizzard Ahead 15 to 2, 17 to 2, Chief Rafif 17 to 2, 10 to 1, let's whatever. Count Crest of 12 to 1, 14 to 1, Brief Crusade 14 to 1, another strange name, and 50 to 1, Flag Bearer. Then in the third race, number 11, Wings of Night 13 to 10, Eternity Ring 11 to 2, Meteoric 11 to 2, 7 to 1, First Encounter Franca 8 to 1, Stolen Keys 10 to 1, Follow Me 12 to 1, River D 12 to 1, Women of Substance 12 to 1, and 100 to 1 the rest. Just for you, for the pick 6 sakes, in this race, if you include 1, 4, and 9 in the pick 6, you should be okay. So let's look at the fourth race. The fourth race as follows: number 1, Love Lies, Even Money, Truth, Trust the Fire 5 to 2, Night King 5 to 1, 12 to 1, Wisden, Lily Wahoo 12 to 1, Kasaki Valest 14 to 1, and Scratch number 7, the first time. Yeah, in this race also, I think the favor will be too strong. Number 1, Love Lies, did improve last time behind Green Mill. This is not a very strong field, and I think that in this field, although the form of Love Lies is not that hard, but in this field should be able to win quite easily. Trust the Fire ran on last time after showing no kind of form earlier in his career. Ran on last time at 66 to 1 for a second behind Justice Reach. Will have to repeat that run. Wisden is also got virtually no form, but maybe in the small field can he be involved in the finish. I think a lot of improvement can be expected. Number 5, Night King, Calvin Murray. This horse did improve from his second to his last race, but he did beat the number 2 also. But I think that number 5, Night King, still open for more improvement. And then number 6, Lil Wahoo, showed a little bit of pace last time out, but that then faded out. But in this small field, can also probably be a contender. Number 7 is Scratched. We move to race number 5, which is Another maiden plate of fillies and mares over 1,000 meters. Here the betting is as follows. Number 5, Talagada, 33-10. Aunt Leslie, 33-10. Country Mile, 5-1. Silvery Blue, 9-2. 13-2. Sky Kingdom. Smelting, 17-2. Ideal Trip, 14-1. 16-1. And better the rest. Yeah, again, not a very strong field. The favorite here is the Terry Horse, Talladega, but has not really shown brilliant form. You know, can be a contender, was freely about Big City Girl. Big City Girl has won since. So my first selection is a horse that can improve, and that's the 2-year-old Silvery Blue. That runs nicely in his second race behind Good Traveller in Cape Town, in Durban, and Good Traveller has won subsequently again, and I think has shown some pace. And over 1,000 meters today shouldn't be a problem. And I'm thinking number 9, Silvery Blue, to run a huge race here. Then for outsider selections, we're going to go for number 1, which is Country Mile. Country Mile has also shown some pace in some of his races. It's getting -4, and I think that will make a huge difference, especially against the 2-year-old. So that can be the biggest contender for the 2-year-old. And then also number 6, Sky Kingdom, has also run a place here and there. This Mr. Botha, the trainer, sometimes these horses run in and out, but with Mahal on board, I'm thinking this horse will run a good race. And as I said before, the favorite number 5, Talladega, no fireworks, can win. Definitely in with a chance, but not a. I just want to mention this horse is very, very well bred, Vaal, by a circle of speed. Uh, and that circle of speed has thrown a few winners, but yeah, I'm not sure. It seems to me that this horse lacks a bit of pace over 1,000 meters. I think that is the big problem there. Then we move to race number 6, which is 1,800 meters, measured at 80 handicap class C, average measured at 76. Race 6 betting as follows. Free Imperial Master 72, 15.4. Prospector Trent Master 4-1. Romer's Magic 5-1. Kieran 8-1. Humble Tune 17-2. Lord Melbourne 10-1 and longer. We are now moving into the last bit of the card where the racing is getting a much more competitive. And in this race, my first selection is number 8, Humble Tune. It's a noble tune by Mutafal Mir. Has won one race over 1,300 meters, but I'm thinking 1,800 meters shouldn't be a problem. Ran some higher divisions in his last 3 runs. And I just feel that Humble Tune is a type of horse that can improve, was 3 lengths behind, falling 3.75 point Epic Quadran. But you can see in his form lines, there are horses winning out of those form lines. And I think number 8, Humble Tune, today, in with a huge chance in this race. My outsider selections being number 1, Lord Melbourne, definitely a horse that has got ability. Of course, in distance 2 runs, 1 win. But didn't run too well last time out, but that was over the 2-4. Now coming back over a little bit short, it can be involved in the finish. Then number 2, Prospector, is also a horse that you can include in audio play, has been placed often, certainly also ready to win a race. And then my other outsider selection is number 9, which is Carrion, Louis Lally Hewitson for Mr. Azzy. Run on nicely in his last race from behind, 24.2 fastest one to finish, which he haven't done for a long time. So that can be a sign that the horse is coming to form. Although they, in his last time runs, they went to the front, here they had a change of tactics, and maybe that suit the horse better. So maybe they're going to try and do this similar here with number 9, Carrion. Then move on to race number 7, which is Fillies and Mares handicap 76, over 1450, class D, average merit at 71. And here we have also open race, the field 92, the field Bella Rosa 92, all at low 92, Too Fat to Fly 92, Lewin 8-1, 8-1 of Flame, 9-1 mode. Now you see me 14-1, 18-1 and better the rest. Here in my selection is number 1, a horse that I've been following for a long time, Too Fat to Fly. This horse came from Cape Town, where he had won a number of races, 2 races, but he always runs on from behind. You'll see all his races, fastest 400 to finish, fastest 400 to finish. Now, for the first time in a long time, they're putting this horse over a 1450. And I do feel that this horse today definitely in with a huge shout in this race. His merit has dropped from 93 to 80, and I'm sure the distance will not be a problem. And if he can run on like he always runs on, I think number 1, Too Fat to Fly, hard to beat in this race. Our solo selections is number 9, which is Lewin. Lewin also has won 2 races over this distance and a third from 4 tries. Also, a horse that has got ability and can certainly be involved in the finish. And here we have Mode. Mode has won a maiden, and then last time out ran on nicely behind Say Win, only 1.5 behind on this course and distance. And I do believe that number 10 Mode in with a huge chance also in this race. My other selection that you want to have a look at is number 8 All Glow, 3L Dynasty by Jetmaster May. Certainly number 8 All Glow. Need to go in all of your calculation. I think this is a horse for the future, that he is also going to run a huge race and can certainly win it, can certainly win this race. Then we move on to race number 8, which is a maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1450, and the betting as follows. Number 1, Cast the Dice 3-1, Galaxy Raider 7-2, Weather Bomb 6-1, 6-1, Fascinada, Riveting 6-1, Apple Drop 9-2, Golden Magic 9-1, Fort Snow 11-1, 20-1 and better. The race scratch number 11. Here in this race, my first selection is number 6, Apple Drop. Did run over the 1200 meters over last week, but running on a little bit at the end, 7 lengths behind. But I think the 1400 meters, the 1450, will certainly suit this horse. Samanga Kumara riding, not a strong field. I think Apple Drop in here with a huge chance. And for outsider selections, we can look at number 4, Riveting has also been running a few places. Ran on well also last time out over the 1400. Before that on the 1450, less than 2 lengths under Diamond and Dollars. And I think number 4, Riveting, surely needs to go in all of your calculations. And then here's number 8, Ocean Sprite, a 6-year-old mare, still trying to win after 41 races. Has run a couple of places. I see Wesley Marvin is back in the saddle and can play at last, ran third last time, although quite a few lengths behind, but I think can also maybe run into the placings. And then I also want to look at a favorite, number 1, Cast the Dice, Laku de Larkus. This horse did run on well last time out, but before that didn't really run the, how can I say, was, how can I put it? It wasn't, like it was looked like it's going to win races, although it ran second behind Lightning Rock. But again, Cast the Dice, not a certain a winner, but definitely inclusion in all of your bets. That brings us to the end of our preview. I hope I could point you in the right direction. And as I always say, break a leg.